health drinks, we are talking about flavored additives into regular milk or water, or our health drinks, we are talking about are nutrient rich, providing us with nutrients that we then lack in our diet. If it is the first kind, then it is very important to read the labeling of the packaging appropriately. If there is a large amount of carbohydrate from free sugars in these health drinks, then they should be avoided at all costs. Children do not need added free sugars into milk because milk itself is a whole food. It has its own carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and anything added on top of it only increases the sugar load, hence contributing to the metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, and then type 2 diabetes. The short answer is yes. When we use the word sugar, what we're talking about is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are complex starch molecules which are then broken down by our digestive system into sugars or glucose, which is our main source of energy, growth, and development in our body. We get enough of sugar or carbohydrates or energy from our regular balanced diet, and we don't really need any added fast sugars. Now, free sugar is found in your table sugar, honey, maple syrup, jaggery, concentrated fruit drinks or fruit concentrates. These all contribute to the added of free sugar. In the short term, a child who has eaten a lot of free sugar goes into a hyper-stimulated mode and they can become hyperactive, but this is a very short-term effect and eventually the child calms down. In the long term, added sugars can have a lot of deleterious effect on health. For example, added sugar could contribute to a cardiovascular risk. They could also contribute to type 2 diabetes by raising your HbA1c, and they can also contribute to insulin resistance, which again is a risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Added sugar is one of the main risk factors for metabolic syndrome in children as well. Now, children under the age of 2 years should not have any added or free sugar into their diet. Above the age of 2 years up to 12 years, the recommended highest amount of free sugar is about 5 to 6 teaspoons of sugar. Now, that's not a large amount. 24 grams is not a large amount. If you read the food packaging labels behind most of the foods that we buy off the grocery stores, you will see that there's a lot of hidden sugars in the form of carbohydrates from other sources, carbohydrates in other forms, which will then contribute to the free sugar load. So there is an upper limit, and this upper limit has been drawn from the long-term ill effects that added sugars can be caused. We have fruits, we have vegetables, we have all our grains which are carbohydrate rich, we have lentils, we have beans, and all of this together are rich carbohydrate sources and are nutrient dense as well. So it is these things that have to increase in the children rather than free sugars. So a child before an activity can be offered a simple fruit like banana to tide them over the period of the activity, or they can be offered a granola bar which is made without the use of any free sugars. So there are many ways in which we can give more energy to our children to match up with their activities, illness, growth and development rather than free sugars.